there were three producers. These three producers and Lasse. We talked about this about the first version, and what I did was, because I had all these inputs, I had these. One of the producers was very thriller oriented, and Lasse was very drama oriented. So I tried to implement a lot of drama and a lot of thriller elements and a lot of crime elements. So and I knew that I knew I'd eventually have to choose a way. I couldn't choose a middle. I could choose a somewhat middle way, but I had to weight it some way. So I just put it all in, and it was way too. I mean, I think that it was 150 pages, A4 page, the European size pages. That's like 160, maybe 165, 170, maybe US letter pages. Way too much of a script, but I had to, because I felt that you can always theorize about the structure of a story, but it's not until you turn it into scenes. Well, sometimes it's not until you turn it into scenes that you can actually see what works and what doesn't work, and what pleases the ones you write. I mean, this script was written for a big company. I mean, this was not a spec script, so I had to try stuff that maybe I didn't believe in myself, and stuff that I believed but they didn't really notice when I talked about it. So I had to concretize it, make something concrete out of it. And my first version, I really tried to make him into a really big and interesting main character, because he was the one, the police officer, Jonas Lena, was the one who was supposed to follow throughout the movies. There's more than one book. This was the first in a series of books that were gonna be turned into movies. So I tried to lift him up and make him a really strong main character with a huge arc and really badass cop. But that wasn't the will of Lasse, and I understood what he meant, because he was still into. He as I said before, he really wanted to make something new. He wanted to make a real good, really strong drama with thriller elements in it, and he felt that the Hypnotist and the Hypnotist's wife Simone were somewhere somewhat the main characters of this story. Yet we all knew that we couldn't just take Jonas away. I mean, he is, after all, the police officer who was going to follow throughout the movies. So I realized after the first version of the script that I had to do something about Jonas. I mean, take him down and make him into not a weak character, but someone who doesn't have that much of an A-line story character arc, but rather someone who the world around him changes, but he's pretty much the same throughout the movie. He's just a really good investigator, and the red thread throughout the film is through his eyes. But yet the Hypnotist, well, the title implies that that's a big character, of course. The Hypnotist and his wife is actually the central theme throughout the movie, around the investigator. So I tried to combine that will of Lasse with still keeping the thriller part of the movie. I mean, it's still a thriller, of course, a drama. Well, that's how the work progressed. So version 2 was less of the police officer, and then for every version that came out, it was less and less of the police officer and more of this drama.